Hello and welcome to this edition of the Real Agents of Change, where we celebrate and support and just want to love on the real agents of change in the world who are walking their walk, talking their talk, and just making a difference. And I have been introduced to this beautiful woman with us today on the screen. Hanna she's got such an interesting story. The first time we spoke, we spoke for 2 hours and just really resonate with one another, and just wanted to share her with my tribe and maybe me with her tribe. Kelly, share with the group a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've had quite an interesting journey. It has led me to the place now at 54 years old to be 100% convinced that the universe doesn't make mistakes. All of the things that I've gone through, some of them tragic, some of them not, have all led me to be who I am and what I am today, and I would not trade that for the world. I'm in my essence, I'm a farm girl from Wisconsin. I moved to Florida in the 80s and have worked in advertising, PR, and marketing my entire life. It's what I love. I was tragically widowed in my mid-30s with 2 little girls. And in that endeavor led me to a group of people involved in the Tony Robbins community. And I have literally spent the last decade working on myself and just meeting some of the most incredible human beings I've ever met on the face of the planet. And the relationships and the people that have come into my life in the most unbelievable ways has really transformed who I am and what I want to do in this world in creating an impact to people who just maybe can't get out of their own way and who really want to seek growth and contribution.
Well, I too believe that there are no mistakes and that universe is fun and funny and has a great sense of humor. And we were introduced through a mutual friend, Tish, whom I only met a couple of months ago because of what we're doing with the Real Agents of Change. And, the impact that we are making in the world is to educate and inform, and in some cases certify folks around charitable gifting of real estate. I just did a Facebook Live where I did a bit of a rant about, no, I don't want to donate to your fundraiser, just to give a little bit of a, what? Just to let people know, yeah, we don't have to do the bake sales and the barbecues and the ballroom functions and the begging anymore. Real estate is hot, fundraising is not, and we are here to bridge the gap between the donors and the nonprofits who so desperately need the funding, and we make it simple and easy. And with contacts like yours, we're going to add $1 billion a year to the nonprofit world. Talk to us about some of the nonprofits that you know and love and would love to see us get in connection with.
Oh, there's, being in the environment I've been in the last 10 years and understanding the world of Tony Robbins. And Tony's a very heart-forward individual who has donated millions and millions and millions of dollars to feed the hungry, to stop sex trafficking, it's endless. And the ripple effect of the people that have come into that world has been outstanding. And there's a lot of people out there who really want to do something, and they'll say in their head, like, I'm not rich enough, and am I really going to make a difference? And yes, there are ways to make a difference. That's why I was so excited to meet you, Cammie. The people that we've come into play with now I'm getting ready to do my 8th business mastery with Tony, and every single business mastery, we raise money for a cause. And the individual groups in that event get to pick that cause. It could have, in the past, it's been for the Australian wildfires, for a very dear friend of mine, Jacqueline Franchetti, whose little 2-year-old daughter, unfortunately, was murdered by her biological father during a custody battle. And I'm helping Jacqueline get the message out to change legislation around divorces and custody battles. So movers and shakers, people that are doing, there's Beck and Siri, holy wow, Beck and Siri are on a mission to end horse slaughter. They rescue horses from kill pens, and they're so dedicated and passionate out in Colorado. You've got Scott Tennant, who is working with the American Foundation of the Blind in helping to reduce the statistic that over 70% of people who are visually impaired are living at poverty level because they can't find employment. There's all of these amazing people. Tim Ballard, Operation Underground Railroad. That man is a hero. He is a warrior in understanding the dynamics of what happens when a child is kidnapped and put into trafficking, and the statistics around that. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and the highest demand for the child trafficking is the United States. And he is on a mission to save as many children as possible. So I'm like interconnected with all of these outstanding individuals who really want to make a difference in this world, something I'm tremendously passionate about. And again, with the things that life just brings your way, getting to meet you through Tish, who is also just an extreme advocate for creating change and impact in this world. And part of what I do is connecting people so that they can make an even bigger impact. You know, it's not about the $10 brownie at the bake sale. It's not about sponsoring a hole in a golf tournament or a fishing tournament. You know, in this past year, a lot of that has changed. We do not have the ability to do events like that. And so to regroup and rethink, how can we create more change, more impact in a much bigger scale? And I think that is something that you are on fire with, girl.
Well, I appreciate all of what you just said. And just to give a little bit of history here, having been in real estate for many years myself, I did HGTV twice, including House Hunters, and I was raised in the Mike Ferry organization, which teaches you how to prospect and body language and objection handling and all this stuff, you know. And after 15 years in real estate and then doing so much work with nonprofit, you know, I really resonate with your friends with the horse rescue, because that's how I got started. I bought my dream car of a 64.5 Mustang convertible with my first big commission check, and I started doing car shows, and we were giving the money to a place called the Live and Let Live Farm in New Hampshire that rescues horses. And, you know, with all of that being said, about a year and a half ago, I'm at a conference and I learned about charitable real estate, and my ear went up kind of like a dog with the dinner bell. What? Real estate? Charitable? What? Why have I never heard of it? And then over the next couple of months, why has 99.99% of people never heard of it? And what I learned was the reason is because given the opportunity, 99% of nonprofits will not take real estate, and frankly, they shouldn't. They don't have the manpower, the knowledge, or the money, because sometimes you got to pay off mortgages and give the donor cash. And so I learned so much about it that 2 months later, when the pandemic happened, and as a speaker and a person who's partnering for-profit, nonprofit, and doing fundraisers, I was completely unemployed, and just, you know, overnight, like so many others. And it gave me time to do nothing but ride my bike and hula hoop and make a lot of phone calls and learn, like I'm riding my bike and I'm on the phone learning about charitable real estate and who would make a great partner and how does this all go down. And now here we are a year and a half later, and we have a program. It's a certification program, Charitable Real Estate Specialist certification. And that just helps with the education. It's a 4-hour class, but what do you do with that afterwards? How do you get out and be seen and be heard and leverage and let people know about this? It's a true education and information platform currently. And I would love to hear from you, Kelly. What are a question or two that you would like for me to clarify for you about charitable real estate that you think maybe your contacts would like to know as well?
Well, I think a lot of people are immediately going to be like, oh, I'm going to give a house away. I'm going to just give it away. And they might not understand the ripple effect of tax benefits and other things like that, and the distinctions that can be made on how it can truly go to create a legacy for your family. The people that I know that are heavy hitters in the real estate industry, you know, look at what real estate has done for people like Brittany Turner. She just bought her own island. She is Richard Branson's neighbor.
Yeah.
You've got Chris Crone, who is helping everyday people make a fortune in real estate. And now, in all of those respects, with Brittany has humanitarian effort with Ariel in going into different countries where tragedies have struck, or weather tragedies, mudslides, things like that. Because of understanding the real estate world, she's able to make that happen. Because of what Chris Crone teaches everyday people like you and me how to invest in real estate, that creates an avenue for them to come to you and say, I want to do more. And you've got people like Rob Gill, you've got people like, with Dave Harder and their Epic and their Infinity X podcast, you've got people that can reach people and help you spread the message. So I would say, what are the top 3 things people don't know about what you do?
Fabulous. And that question, who would donate real estate? That's been one of the biggest first questions. And surprisingly to me, even from people who've sat on the board of big nonprofits for 30 years. I mean, people who are asking others to donate $5,000, $50,000, $100,000, even they will say to me, people will donate real estate? And I think, you of all people are asking people for cash. Of course they will. But the fact is that cash, when you look up the statistics, it could be 3, 6, it's always less than 10%. Whether people make 20,000 or 20 million a year, they only hold less than 10% of their wealth in cash. And yet 43% of our wealth is held in real estate. So these guys that I've partnered with, it's a specialized nonprofit, they noticed this great disparity many years ago, all of them being in commercial real estate, being philanthropic and sitting on the boards. They're like, why are we all out begging for cash when 43% of our wealth is in real estate? So they realized that the biggest problem is that nonprofits can't accept donations of real estate. Not that they can't, they won't. And they shouldn't, because they're not prepared for it. But to answer your question about the donations, here's what I also learned. Places like the MS Society, who I have interviewed, and American Endowment Foundation, and Fidelity Charitables, these are some of the places that we've actually, our team has actually done these transactions for. They will tell you, people are trying to donate real estate. They're calling us every day. Before they met our team, they're like, people are trying. Hospice will tell you, all these beautiful human beings who are coming here and they're planning their death don't have people, they don't have relatives, they don't have children, they don't even know what to do with their property. There's a whole genre of human being right now who are doing their estate planning and have no idea who to give their property to. It is part of life. So yes, there are people who will donate, there are people who are trying to, and there are people who would, if they even knew it was an option, because of the estate planning. And look, I am not an estate planning expert. I don't know a whole lot about taxes, but what I do know from the experts that we work with the new presidency, there's some things that are happening that will make donating property a huge benefit to people. And here's 2 things I know. Number 1, they pay no capital gains tax on that which they donate. Number 2, they write off the appraised value of the property versus what it actually sells for. So that, and I'll give you a third one since you said 3. When someone donates a piece of property, the way that we do it in this system, when we take a look at it and we say, yes, it's a viable property, it qualifies, there's enough equity, here's your net sheet if you were to sell it outright versus donate, maybe even pull cash out, we can pay off mortgages, give the property owner, donor cash back if they want cash, get them out of the property off the deed and title within 30 days, and they get their tax benefit immediately. Within 30 days, they get cash in their pocket, they're off the deed. Now, we turn around and list it and liquidate it with the real estate agent at a full commission. And even if it takes 3 months, 6 months, or a year for it to actually go on the market and sell, that's irrelevant to the donor. That's a huge benefit for some of them who are doing estate planning. They got 6 greedy kids. that are all fighting over the property and this and that, when they find out, wait a minute, I can get off the deed, I can get $500,000 cash out of the building to go buy life insurance policies for these kids and get them off my back, and I can also donate several $100,000 to the nonprofit I love, and I can do all that within 30 days. That's an option I like. I think I'll do it. So there's just a lot of nuances that people aren't familiar with that I had no clue about a year and a half ago. And it is my mission. It is the reason I'm on the planet. I learned real estate. I learned network marketing and personalities and objection handling and body language. I learned nonprofit planning. I learned all of that for 50 years so that I could be on this video with you today to help other people understand charitable real estate. That's why I went through all that.
Absolutely. And it's so admirable. And I honor you so much for doing that. And I think, a lot of people go into overwhelm. They think, oh, I'm not going to make a difference. And then so they do go to that bake sale, or they buy wrapping paper from some kid that's doing a classroom fundraiser or a candle and things like that. And then at the end of the day, they're just frustrated because they feel pressured. Now here, in this type of situation, they can become empowered. And even like what we're saying, how you and I met through Sean Callaghy, I mean, that's what he teaches. He teaches understanding the art of communication from a heart perspective, integrity-based human influence. And, doing what he's doing is teaching you how to expand the people you interact with, how to communicate effectively. And there's all of these puzzle pieces that come into play. You have people like Chris Crone teaching the average person how to invest in real estate and have the ability to tie the real estate, which is phenomenal. And then you've got like the Courtney Epps, who's a tax specialist. Like all of these people are in these tight-knit networks, and they're all, the best thing about it, they're all integrity-based, heart-forward human beings who want to make this world a better place. And
the great thing about charitable real estate is any of those real estate coaches, there's no competition here. This is a way for them to help to create philanthropic people, charitable real estate divisions all around the country. When it's a real estate coach, wow, like this is the best unique sales proposition. The reason you and I hit it off so well was because we got on the phone because of charitable real estate. If it hadn't have been such an interesting conversation, who knows? Maybe we wouldn't have gotten on the phone. I don't know, but it is cause marketing campaigns. 87% of consumers, customers, and clients will choose the service provider, the company or product that is on purpose and being socially responsible. So that lady that does the tax planning, the CPAs, the financial service people, when they can have an intelligent conversation about charitable real estate, this is a niche for them in their profession, because other CPAs, other financial service people, they don't understand this from the perspective of course, they're professionals with finance. They know that a donation of real estate has great benefits, but the problem is, no matter how much they know that, they're not going to their clients and saying, hey, you should donate real estate, because 99% of the time they explain it to them, everybody's excited, yeah, let's donate real estate. But then they reach out to a nonprofit and they say, hey, thanks, nope, can't take it, don't know how to do it, don't have the cash. So we are partnering with all of those people to say, any of the 1.3 million nonprofits, all of the ones you just mentioned and all of the others, we will take that property, take a donation agreement with the donor that says, I want 30% of the proceeds to go to the veterans. I want 42% to go to the homeless shelter in my area. I want 18% to go to my church. Awesome. And once we sell it, we give the money where people want it to go. Now, people will say, this is too good to be true. It's way too good. It's too good to be true. Must be a scam. What's the catch? Why aren't other people doing it? Look, I don't know why other people aren't doing this, other than the fact that they just didn't put the pieces together like I did. So the group that I partnered with, the specialized nonprofit, They keep 3 to 10% of the proceeds. I'm going to throw that right out there. How do you get paid? I get paid to do the training aspect of this and to teach cause marketing campaigns. And the group that makes this seamless gets 3 to 10% of the proceeds to keep their doors open. And I've met other groups that keep 30% and 85% of the proceeds to do these deals. They are raping and pillaging. So to be able to have a group that keeps 10% or less is just a no-brainer for the nonprofits to play with us.
Oh, definitely. And when you come to think about it, like, where is a person's heart? When you sit down with someone and you dive into communicating heart to heart with that person, and it would come up like in your last days, what, like Brittany Turner's group that she does, you have to write your eulogy as part of getting clear about what footprint you want to leave in this world.
That's a Tony Robbins thing too, isn't it?
It is a very eye-opening exercise to do. So think about that. At the end of your life, looking back, what is it you want people to know about you? What is it that you want to leave?
What is that for you, Kelly? Tell us.
Oh, for me, I totally 100% want to believe that my mission here on earth is to help people peel back the layers to remembering who they are. That is so powerful. We go off and we get caught up in the chaos and we have to raise a family and do this and that and have a career. At the end of the day, we forget who we are. And that to me is the most important thing. And this allows people to truly leave a legacy. And all the puzzle pieces can get put into place so easily. Even for just the average person, you don't have to be rich. You don't have to be wealthy. You don't have to be a millionaire in order to do this. And the ability that you have to connect those dots is outstanding.
One of the favorite stories, because when we do the certification class, we tell case studies that the specialized nonprofit has done over the years. And the favorite case study is of a nonprofit that learned about charitable real estate. They were working with our specialized nonprofit. There's a woman that was donating $25 a year for 25 years. $25 a year, someone that you wouldn't think, and like if you're trying to picture who would donate real estate, you wouldn't think of this, right? But the fundraiser from that organization knew through training to just simply state, by the way, just want you to know, donations of real estate can help our nonprofit. She had a piece of property, nothing to be, write home about, wasn't a big island or a huge strip mall, but this piece of property, when sold, gave a $43,000 check to that nonprofit. So even though the average amount of a donation from real estate's $550,000, and even though typically we look for at least $250,000 in equity to make the deal a good one to do, etc., the fact is, anyone, it could be a primary residence, it could be the second home out at the lake, and the kids used to love to use it, but now they all have kids of their own and it's just sitting there kind of falling into disrepair. It could be, an office building that's 6 stories high and maybe it's 70% vacant, especially now with what's going on with the pandemic, and the owner says, well, actually that thing has appreciated. If I were to sell it, the capital gains would kill me, so there's so many different reasons and stories and scenarios. But that woman who was donating $25 a year to be able to really leave the legacy that she wanted, see, that's an example of somebody who wasn't looking for this big tax shelter. She wasn't looking to get one over on the government. She was looking to make a difference, and God bless her, she did.
Well, you think about the impact with just use Tim Ballard because it's such a powerful one. You have the ability to save a child from human trafficking. And he has these aftercare facilities that rehabilitate these kids and teach them how to be kids again, because some of them are born into the industry or trafficked as young as 6 months old. Now, as a mom, that's just unacceptable. So that's something that I get very passionate about. And I think that it's not as expensive as you think to save a child from trafficking. Can you imagine, even if just like that woman, $25 a year was $43,000. How many children could she have saved from trafficking? How many horses could she have saved from slaughter or going to the meat market in Mexico or Canada? And some of these horses get sold off. When family pets go lame, they get sold off and they get used for bait horses for bullfighting in Latin American countries. Like, you have the ability to create change. It's at your fingertips.
I was just talking about the human trafficking on my Facebook Live. And, I, on a daily basis, have the honor of meeting people like you, I get to connect with such beautiful people. And it's hard for me to imagine the people that are doing that. And for every one of us who wants to make a difference, there's 10 of them that are selling a child for $600, that are renting a child for $100 to do unspeakable things for an hour. They're out there, they exist. I can't even imagine. And you know what? We know them. We know them. They are, sitting at the campfire. Like, we don't know what people are doing behind closed doors, but what we do know is we can make a difference, and we don't have to do it through a bake sale anymore. So right. I know you and I could go on for hours and hours about this, but as we bring our fun little interview to an end, what's something about Kelly that has nothing to do with your work or where you're from, that's just something fun you'd like for us to know about you?
Oh gosh, I'm all about fun and adventure. I love the unknown. I love uncertainty. And that is where miracles happen. When you're scared, when you're unsure, when you want to pull back and be safe, if you step out of that comfort zone, holy cow. I've walked on fire literally like 30 times. It's something that we do at a Tony Robbins event. And for me, the first time that happened was so empowering. And then my daughter did it. And to see, like, literally her come flying across that parking lot barefoot at 2 a.m. and literally tackle me to the ground because she was so excited because she just walked on fire. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing, is to, all of these things that you wonder about, get out there and make them happen. Get out there and make them happen.
Amen. And that's why I bought my RV about 45 days ago, had never driven one before, had no idea what I was going to do, but now I'm sitting here, it's my magic Mike, is what I call him. And now I'm just a couple hours from you, and now you're going to come here and stay with me for a day or two and make some fun video, flipping over tables of cookies and just really showing people, and really kind of shocking them into, whoa, wait a minute, they just flipped over a table full of cookies. You mean we don't have to do bake sales anymore? This is all about education, and it's so much fun, and it is the unknown, yet the known. There's certainty and uncertainty, and we have so much to talk about. I don't even know you yet, but I love you, I honor you, I want to celebrate you. And for everyone watching, if you think that you're a real agent of change, whether you're a real estate agent, a nonprofit, a community leader, a visionary who just wants to support and be a part of the solution, reach out to me, reach out to Kelly. There's so much that she can do for you in the PR realm, and there's so much that we can do to educate and inform about how you can be a part of this movement. This is the secret real estate niche that is funding nonprofits by the billions, and we can't do it alone. We need your help, and we welcome you to come help. Kelly, thank you so much for your time today.
Think about how good it's going to feel to look in the mirror and love what you see and who you are.
Well, can't end it any better than that. See you guys later. Bye-bye.